Socks off.
Yeah, baby.
Whoa. Oh, thumbs. No thumbs allowed. So we're going to do a little sequence forward. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, hip, 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 hip. Back, 2, 3, 4, hip, 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 hip. Forward, 2, 3, 4. So your hips are gliding over your femurs. And back, 2, 3, 4, hip, 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 hip. Now I want you to get a little bit creative with your arm. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back, 2, 3, 4. Hips, 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 hips. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Hips, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4. Hips, 2, 3. Now forward we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hug your knee. Try and get your heel as close to your sit bone as possible. And then back, 2, 3, 4. Forward on the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heel to hip. Back, 2, 3, 4. Back forward on the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heel to hip. Back, 2, 3, 4. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Up, back, 2, 3, 4. Forward, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, back, 2, 3, 4. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Up. Don't think I changed legs that time. And back. And now, last one is we come forward and we go 1, 2, 3. But the forward is a down. I don't know if you can see my legs there. So you come forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, lunge. So I'm doing this, there's a lunge, and then I go back, 2, 3, 4, lunge, forward, 2, 3, 4, lunge, back, 2, 3, 4, lunge, forward, 2, 3, 4, and down, and back, 2, 3, 4, down. And standing still, gonna bend down into a plie, slide your arms back and bring it together and cross your heart. Down, and then you're gonna go to the other side and up. So open everything up, close it together. Open it up and close it together. Open it up, close it together. Open it up and close it together. 2 more. Open and close and open. And last set. Open and close and open and close. Good job. So we've got our heart rates up. I want you to stand with your legs just hip width apart. And close your eyes with your hands by your sides, and you will observe a movement of sorts. So I want you to see if you're going more lilting to one side, or you're doing little circle movements, but whatever it is, because at the end of the class we're going to do it again to see if you've slowed down that rhythm. Has everybody got a little bit of movement happening as they close their eyes? A little bit. If we'd have done nothing and didn't warm up like that, it would have been much worse. But I was aware of your dizziness, TL, and don't want to close your eyes too much. Okay, so we're going to test that at the end. So get your stools and sitting onto them. Oh, IKEA, here we are. Even Kaya's got an IKEA. Oh, thank God for IKEA. So we're going to do our figure eights. the front of your stool and interlace your hands behind your head and reaching your elbows up. It's almost like I'm going to reach for the stars with my elbow and back down. Reach with the other and reach up, almost like you're reaching to the corner of the room over there. And you're trying to keep both sits bones connected to the stool as much as you can. And down. And then reaching it up, trying to keep both sits bones connected. And down. And you notice one side's a lot easier to get more range. And down. And reach up. Keep both sits bones down. And last one to this side. And down. You're getting there, Riley? It's finding that perfect spot. That's it. And Sue, if you can actually lower your screen a bit, because I can only see you from the chest up. And we're going to go into our figure eights. Bit lower. No, I need you to go down too. So I need, if I can see you to your knees is good. You can move back a little bit, Sue. Can you move back? Is your chair back? And yeah. Yeah, TL needs to go down a little bit. You can probably go back a little bit more, Kaya, as well. That's it. So, we do in our figure eights with the languish of the really slowness, like we've been in hibernation for 6 months and we're just waking up like a yawn. So figure eight from the head, down through the neck, down we go. Oh, it's been a big hibernation, a big sleep. Down for 8, keeping the pelvis still. Then we start to come up, drawing those abdominals in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then up to the side on 8, rotating towards one side and reaching those elbows up and armpits open. That's the way, TL, much better. So now we go down, another set of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and open on the 8. Open those armpits, Supatra. Open it up. Open up, up. And now we're going to do one in 4 counts. So it's a little bit more dynamic, like you're skipping a little bit through the tulips or whatever we can skip through. And we go with a bit more percussive breath. We go and then 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Down 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and finish. So we're all now going to look over our left, towards the left knee. And we're going to open, lift and scoop the abdominals in, reach both elbows forward, and then open through that parallel position of both elbows, and then they open up through center. Then we scoop and curl down through center. Now your elbows have to be cradling your head. See how my elbows are pointing forward? That's it. Then we rotate around to the right, open the chest and reach the elbows wide. Lift the chest, lift the sternum. And exhale, scoop and curl over your right thigh and then rotate around to the center. Lift, scoop and curl and open up over your left thigh. Lift, scoop, curl and open through center. And lift, scoop and curl. Open out through to the right side. And scoop, curl. And open through the center. Really open out through those armpits. And reach the arms down. Hopefully we're starting to feel a little bit more mobile through there. We're going to work the ribs a little bit more now, but bringing our hips into it as well. So you bring your hip up towards your ribs and your ribs down towards your hips. So side bending to one side. And drop both sits bones down. Hips to ribs, ribs to hips, and your head goes over. And center. And exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over, and up, and over, and drawing it all in, and over, and up, and over, and up. Is somebody, sorry Tia, what did you say? You can. So it's sort of like a natural thing. If it happens, let it happen. So, no, you're fine to ask that. I'm just going to move back. So what I tend to do is when I go over, I sort of lift it up and down. It's more a rhythm thing. So it's sort of like a lift and down as I come up. And a tap and down. And I think I do it more as to keep in time with the rhythm of the movement. So if it works for you, do it. If it doesn't, that's fine. But the good thing is that you're all getting a really nice openness through the hips, and that's the most important thing. Now, we're going to go into watermelon head. So interlace your hands, place them on your head, and have like they're pulling apart, the fingers are pulling apart, so right on top of your head. That's it. A little bit more forward in Sapatra. Yes. And we go over as we exhale, and then there's a very powerful percussive in-breath to come up. Last one, and up. And arms down. Turning over towards our left side. So you'll place your left hand close in towards your thigh and your right hand more out towards your knee. And the first one is an arch forward. So your sternum and chest go forward. And so you're opening your front line and contracting the back. So lift the sternum up. And then you tuck and curl, go back to a C curve and look down at your left hand. And then inhale, go forward. Exhale, come back. And so that right hand might even come off your thigh because you're reaching so much. Stretches. And exhale and inhale, arch. And arch down and curl back. Curl forward and arch up. Arch forward and curl back. Curl forward and arch up, arch and curl back. Curl forward, keep the curl, now go to an arch. Keep the arch and curl back. Keep the curl and curl back and arch forward. Arch down, curl back. Curl forward, arch up. Arch forward, curl back, curl forward, arch up, arch forward and curl back, curl forward, bless you Kaya, and arch forward and curl back, curl forward, arch up, and arch forward and curl, rest. Now the reason I've got you to put your hand here is because I've got it in the crease where my hip flexors are. So I'm trying to keep that tendon insertion of the hip flexors, trying to keep it so it's down. So as I arch forward, I can feel a nice soft space in there. Is that right, Subhadra? No tight tendons in the hip flexors. So you keep it pushed down, and then when you come back, it's a lengthening. So we're opening up the hip here, but the more that you anchor down through both sits bones, the less you're going to have your hip bone to come up. So it's one of those things that it can make you want to use your hip flexors a lot, but it's an opportunity to roll your pelvis over your legs. So we're literally going arch, curl and arch. Arch forward and curl back, curl forward and arch up, but not gripping into the hips. So let's try some on the other side, and rotating towards our right. So therefore your left hand will be close to your hip, and your right hand is close to your hip, and your left hand is forward. And we start with a nice breath in, arching forward, and then exhale, and you lead with your tail, curl into your C curve and roll back a little bit, then curl forward and arch up. Arch forward and curl back, curl forward and arch up. You've got it, that looks lovely. Arch forward and curl back, curl forward and arch up, arch forward and curl back. Scoop those abdominals in deep to deepen the curl, and curl forward and arch up, arch forward and curl back, curl forward and arch up, and breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and last one, breathe out. Come to the center. And we're going to do it to the front. So it becomes much more like this, where we go arch forward, and I'm pushing with my heels and my hands onto my thighs, and then I curl back as I turn my legs in. Push my legs apart, arch forward, and curl back. Arch forward, and curl back. So the legs from the front go arch forward, curl back, open and arch, close and curl, open and arch, and exhale and curl, open and close, open, big breath, and exhale and curl, and open and close, and open we're trying to imagine that we've got a glass ceiling that we're polishing with our head. So we don't want to go forward to this height and then go back and be down here. So you can see in the camera behind me, if I go down, you can see the skylight behind me? You know, my head is touching the frame of the window. When I curl back, my head is still almost at the frame of the window because I'm lengthening my skull up but scooping there. And then I come forward and back and forward and back. So if we go down too much in the curl, then see all that space behind me I've lost? Then I'm compressing down into the abdominal wall and putting a lot more pressure on the discs of my spine. So it is like what do you call it? A spring. So you're going this way, then that way. The light's not so good on this angle, is it? With the camera this way. It's not as good as having it the other way. Experiment fail. Okay, so now, how are you feeling? Everybody feeling a bit warmed up? Right, so we're going to go into our warrior stretches then. First of all, through a little bit of curl. And I'll do it from the side, it's a curl. And then I swing my arms out and my legs out into an arch. And then curl. And open arch. And be careful that it's your sternum that comes through. Like the breast of an eagle, open. Exhale and curl. And open. And exhale, curl. Now don't let your arms go any further behind you unless it's your chest that goes forward. Don't just break there with the arms going back, it's the chest forward. And exhale, curl. And open. And curl. And open. Stay there. Straighten your left leg. Look over your right shoulder and reach that left arm up. Take the right arm down and reach it further up to open up these ribs here. Reaching the left arm down and coming back up to the warrior pose. Take your right arm down and press it into your right leg and your leg into your arm and rotate around to look at the ceiling, reaching those right fingertips, left fingertips up, pushing to the leg, into the front of the legs here, into the front of the leg, that's it, push into the leg, rotate it more, go on Rayleigh, you can rotate around, and then come back to the front, look over your right arm, and curl back into your center. And open into the arch, straighten your left leg, look over your left shoulder, reach your left arm up to the ceiling as your right arm goes back, all the way down, like you want to reach your fingertips to the floor as the left arm goes up. So you're being pulled left from right. And come back up through that central warrior position. Take the left arm down inside the left leg and rotate around to the side, pressing the arm into the leg and the leg into the arm at the same time, and really open up that left shoulder. It's the left shoulder that's pushing into the leg that's getting an openness. Push and reach. And then come back to your previous position. And curl. And sit tall for our hamstring work. So picking up your right leg and your left hand goes onto the outside of your right foot and your right hand onto the outside of your right thigh. Yeah, you've got to reach onto the outside of the foot. And you're pulling the outside of your feet. And then we don't straighten the right leg. We're actually using it as a way to curl through the spine. So we're pushing through the hand onto the thigh, pushing the foot into the hand, and the hand pulls. And I'm doing this curl through scooping into a C curve, and I look into my right elbow. So look down, scoop the abdominals, push the hand into the foot and the foot into the hand, and then come up to a nice tall seated position, lift your chest, and lower the foot down. So pick up your left foot and take your right hand and place it on the outside. So you've got your left hand on your left thigh and your hand on the outside of your foot. Push into there, scoop back, push the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot, looking down into your left elbow now. Scoop the abdominals, get a nice stretch for your lumbar spine and your mid-back. And exhale, come back up and hug the knee. Down for the big hamstring stretch. This one we do straighten our legs. So pick up your right leg and hold it on the outside of the left foot with your, outside of your right foot with your left hand. And then your right hand goes forward. Push your left foot firmly into the floor. And straighten up that right leg and rotate around to your right, lifting your chest. Lift it up, lift it. That's the way, guys. Very nice. So open the chest. Now with that eagle chest, forward, open it, open it, open it. And curl back in, fold everything in, hugging that knee. Sit tall, picking up your left leg with the outside of that left leg with your right hand, and then your left arm reaches forward, straighten the leg out and rotate around and arch the chest, pull the outside of your leg, pull the outside of your foot, lift your sternum and open your arms, beautiful, really lift the chest, lift it and open, 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 breath in, and exhale, come back and hugging your knee and place it down. You did really well with those stretches. Now I'm going to make you use your muscles in your arms. So you're going to lift weights, but it's your own body that's creating the resistance. So you open your fingers, palms are turned outwards, and we take 4 counts.